going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I am super excited for today's episode because we're going to be harvesting potatoes. That's right. Potatoes are something that I'm always looking forward to harvesting. It's one of the last crops we have not yet harvested from our main season garden. Everything else is out of the ground, so we're pretty much transitioning completely into fall gardening, which is great. And these were the last things. Now, you can probably tell from behind me, the plants are dead, and that never happens. We usually always harvest our potatoes, or are pretty much forced to harvest our potatoes because the season is usually so cold and so wet that we don't want to risk our potatoes rotting. However, the potatoes, because it's been such a hot, dry, and humid season, the potatoes have instead gone their natural course, and I'll be interested to see how they turned out because we did a few things this year. When we planted the potatoes, we actually used core gardening first. Core gardening is a method of gardening that we've advocated now for a couple years. It has really changed our lives with how we've gardened and how much we have to water. And it also really has, so you got the core gardening, but then it also, one thing we did differently this year was we didn't water at all. We hardly watered this bed once we got past probably maybe like May. So we did water it a little bit in the very beginning to get the potatoes established. But once they were up, we didn't water at all. Nothing, none. Meaning that they got what rained. And this summer was one of the driest summers on record as well. We had our average temperature here this summer was 81 degrees. That is an all-time high. That's unreal how hot that is. Our average rainfall for the entire summer months was about 6 inches. That's an all-time low. Normally it's around 10 to 12 inches of rain. So that's unbelievably low. So record heat and record drought. I'll be interested to see how the cores held up here. Now the core that we did choose was just partially broken down material. We didn't have any straw bales on hand, so that's usually the method that we prefer. But we just used some partially broken down compost. We sifted out the compost pile. The compost the finished stuff went to go top off the beds and fertilize all the plants. And then also, the stuff that was left over, the stuff that didn't make it through the sieve, the stuff that hadn't broken down yet, went into our core. So it'll be really interesting to see how it turned out. And we planted 3 varieties. We planted our very common 3. We planted a few less of the purple potato than we normally plant. Normally it's about an even ratio of all of them. However, this one bed is the only bed we planted out. We planted 3 rows, I believe 3 or 4 rows of the Kennebecs, 3 or 4 of the Pontiac Red, and I think like 1 or 2 only of the purple potatoes. And that's because we had purple potatoes in the planters. Hopefully you saw that harvest video because that was amazing. So we got a lot of purple potatoes already from those, which made up for the ones we didn't plant in this bed here. So one thing that I can notice right off the bat is some of our potatoes are beginning to they're beginning to come out of the soil, and there's really no need. I was going to prune them off, but the potato plants are so dead that I really don't even need to do that. Wow, those are some dead plants. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. That's a good start. There's a lot of small ones. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. The soil is so dry that I'm able to harvest them without a fork, which I really like because it seems like every year I end up damaging some. And so I'm going to try to just harvest potatoes this year without using a fork. So apparently we left a couple purple potatoes in the soil where we grew them last year because there are some purple potatoes. Well, you can't get away from them, folks. They're good though. They are good, but not really what I was expecting right there. I'm definitely gonna get all these harvested first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna flip the soil with a soil fork because I know I know there's some further that I just can't get, get down there with my fingers because the soil is pretty dry. But this is remarkable, you guys. This might be a record year. This might legitimately be a record harvest. This is from one plant. Just one plant. There's a bunch of these little tiny ones that are going to just plague me for years to come when they sprout. So, all right, I honestly think that's all of them. Oops, there's another one. So, that is what we got from just one plant. That is amazing. All right, let's get this next plant pulled up here and see if it's as good as that first one. Holy smokes. I mean, everyone always talks about how potatoes are affected by drought, but I really don't see much negative side effects. Holy smokes, these are gorgeous potatoes. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is, oh my gosh. That is incredible. What a haul. Ooh, there's a potato down there, I can feel it. Wow, look at that. That is absolutely outstanding. A little bit less than that first haul there, but there might be some, oh, actually, yeah, oh, yep, I can, never mind. In a sec, I was like, I could feel some more potatoes. Some of the roots kind of went in there, and I knew that there might be some potatoes further in, but I do think that's all of them. Not as many as the first plant, but still really remarkable. Unbelievable. This is from just 9 plants. That is a yield unlike anything we've ever seen before. The hot weather, the dry weather, didn't even phase it. And the most incredible thing is there's hardly anything left of the core. So the core we planted right down the center of our row here, and there's nothing left. All that there is left is maybe just some little bits of punky wood that is left over from the compost. So completely broken down over the course of a season. It's obviously been very effective at keeping the soil moist. We have not watered this, and there's still some moisture. Even though this is dry, there's still moisture in here. It's got some moisture still in there, so that's really nice. And that is that's definitely been an asset for us that has paid off huge dividends. So let's get to the red potatoes now. I think we have 9 of those plants as well, and then I think we have 1 bed of the purple. So we'll get to see how much red we get now. All right, let's see how much we got from the Pontiac Red. These plants are still fairly alive. I mean, not fairly alive, but they're still at least green. Woo, boy. That is pretty epic already. Just from the first pull, most red potatoes are usually about this size for us. This is a great size. However, if we got some looking like this, that's awesome. Wow. Did not go down nearly as deep as the Pontiacs, but that's to be expected. Pretty amazing, honestly. Pretty amazing. For the Pontiac Red, they don't produce a whole lot. They're usually a much more modest harvest, but still for this to for us to get about 2.5-3 pounds from one plant we only planted we only planted 1.5 pounds to begin with, so that equaled 9 plants, about 9-10 plants. So we're well on our way to a really good harvest. So check it out. There is our harvest from just one bed. Absolutely epic. If I don't say so myself, this is by far the most epic potato harvest we've ever had. Not because we matched basically pound for pound from years past, but what makes it so particularly epic is that this all came from just 48 square feet. We grew over 100 pounds of potatoes in just 48 square feet. That is absolutely remarkable. Now, the thing that makes it even more remarkable is the fact that we grew it in one of the hottest and driest summers that I can remember, on record, in fact. So what this tells me is that the core we put in played a pivotal role in increasing our yields. The core helped to absorb moisture throughout the season, and even though it was breaking down probably faster than I wish it would have, even though it was breaking down fast, it has still retained a lot of that moisture that the potatoes were able to tap into. We grew the same exact amount of potatoes as we did last year, and last year we had a bed and a half, meaning that we increased our production by about 50%, and we didn't do anything other than decrease the amount of potatoes we planted this year, and we watered them less, in fact. So really happy with this turnout. It's going to be a really nice asset to our our food storage long term going on in the winter. And also it was nice because as we were harvesting potatoes, a gentleman, if you're watching, Wes, Wes actually stopped by, and he was wondering if we were the YouTube folks, and yes, we are. So he was wondering if we were, because he was talking to a friend, and mentioned us, and he said, I think I live next to him. And so Wes stopped by, and I actually gave him a couple pounds of potatoes, so it was actually more than what you see here. So really happy I was able to share the yield as well. Always share whenever you can. This is way more than we'll ever eat, so it was nice to be able to give some away to friends and family, because it's a great way to spread the love of organic gardening. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to hit that like button and share with your friends if you want to get them involved in this lifestyle of growing organically, having epic yields, having a lot more fun gardening than you ever would have thought, and just taking gardening worldwide. So I hope you all enjoyed. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. Catch y'all later. See ya.